ChatGerry, Pattern Recognition of Neuropsychology and Predictive Health Model, paper number 1554, the 1st of March 2026, Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation, category, Neuropsychology. After my hemorrhagic stroke on June 21, 2025, I had to accept one hard medical truth. The structural damage inside my brain blood vessels, caused by 36 years of diabetes, cannot be completely reversed. That damage had been building silently for decades, especially during the first 2 decades. What I can still control is the daily blood pressure load that may trigger another rupture. My survival now depends on detecting danger early and lowering that load in time. To do this, I created a simple warning signal called the Triggering Sensitivity Index, or TSI. TSI equals SBP-DBP 45 SBP 120 100. The TSI converts my blood pressure into a single number related to my stroke risk that tells how much stress my weakened blood vessels are facing. When the number rises above 100, I immediately slow down my breathing, step away from emotional conversations, and let my nervous system calm down. In this way, my brain becomes the real-time controller that protects my own blood circulation. For the past 17 years, I have been collecting detailed health data from my body every day and storing them in my iPhone. Medical AI system, what looks like a quick glance at a glucose curve or a blood pressure chart is actually the result of long-term training. I do not read the numbers one by one, I see the whole pattern at once. Within seconds, I know the current condition, the likely cause, and the direction my body is moving. This is the same ability we see in experienced pilots, engineers, or chess players. It is not fast calculation, it is pattern recognition built through repeated feedback over many years. My brain has learned the behavior of my own body the way pilots know their airplanes. Over time, I connected my daily lifestyle, my body's responses, and the shapes of these curves or charts into one system. Each chart is no longer just a picture. It is an automatic identification of what is happening inside me. This is why I can take action immediately instead of waiting for damage to occur. To make this system more practical, I use a few extended biomarkers such as pulse pressure PP, mean arterial pressure MAP, and TSI. They work like cockpit instruments. A pilot does not need to solve complex physics during a bumpy flight. The instruments show whether the aircraft is safe. My iPhone screen now plays the same role for my vascular system. Many people think automation is always better. In my case, I intentionally keep manual data entry. This is not a technical limitation. It is part of my stroke recovery. Entering and analyzing my data every day forces my brain to focus, remember, organize, and interpret. These are exactly the functions that are often weakened after a stroke. Modern neuroscience tells us that repeated and meaningful mental activity helps the brain rebuild its neural connections. My daily workflow has become a form of cognitive rehabilitation. Recently, I even found that I called recall advanced probability theory, stochastic processes, and topology that I learned more than 50 years ago. That recovery did not come from passive rest, it came from active thinking. Because I have worked with dense, continuous data for many years, my brain now uses what scientists call neural efficiency. I do not think harder. I use a trained internal model. This is why my pattern recognition in my own health data can be faster than a traditional medical review based on occasional measurements. It is not about intelligence. It is about the frequency of data use and continuous feedback. In the future, if medical images such as CT or MRI can be directly sent into a personal device such as an iPhone, the same data-based approach can be used for automatic interpretation. My medical research already shows that viscoplastic energy analysis more than 1,000 papers written and geometric topology structures more than 100 papers written are simply two different ways of describing the same biological reality in data form. In July 2026, my neuropsychology study at Stanford University will allow part of this process to be observed scientifically, but in my daily life, the system is already running. Real-time measurement, immediate behavioral adjustment, continuous mental training, and neuroplastic recovery are all connected. I am not only a stroke survivor, I am a living, predictive model that continues to learn. Because my damaged cerebral vascular structure cannot be fully repaired, my protection depends on controlling the daily stress on the vessels. TSI gives me an early warning. Breathing and emotional regulation reduce the load. For example, my breathing exercises: inhale for 4 seconds, then exhale for 8 seconds. Repeat this pattern 4 to 5 times. I have noticed that my SBP drops by around 10 to 15 mmHg. Manual data work keeps my brain strong. Long-term pattern recognition allows instant understanding. Together, they form a real-time closed-loop health control system that protects my brain, including both neurons and neural pathways, as well as my cerebral blood vessels. This paper does not merely describe my recovery, it demonstrates a working predictive health control system in which pathophysiology, data science, and neuroplasticity operate as a single closed loop. Disclaimer: I write this paper not for fame, but to share what I have learned so others can understand their health, prevent disease, and live longer, healthier lives. This content is provided for educational reference only and does not constitute medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to T. He author, Gerald C. This content is provided for educational reference only and does not constitute medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C.